Okay, the biggest lie about anti-aging, I believed it for years like it was a fact. Don't fall for it like I did, because the moment I stopped believing it, everything I thought I knew about caring for my skin changed. The truth is, keeping your skin looking young is much simpler than most people think. You just have to understand one thing. What does your skin actually need? For years I believed I had to follow every rule I was told. That's why I double cleansed every night, because I believed one cleansing was never enough to really get my skin clean. Every night I would stand at the sink with two cleansers lined up. First a milk cleanser, then a foaming cleanser. But the first step didn't seem to clean my skin any better. It felt like I was spending money just so I could say I am double cleansing. Then I tried a oil-based cleanser followed by a foaming cleanser. But little red bumps, almost like tiny breakouts, started to pop up on my skin. Of course, they went away as soon as I stopped. Thankfully, eventually I understood I don't need more steps. I just needed one cleanser that could remove my skincare, my makeup, and sunscreen without stripping my skin of its natural moisture. It was really great when I tried the Perfect Balance cleanser from La Vie and Beauty. It's a Korean-based skincare company. This cleanser does such an amazing job, just one wash and removes everything. I even tested double cleansing again just a few weeks ago after seeing a cool video on Instagram. But the same tiny red bumps appeared right here around my forehead. I believed that more meant better, and I was wrong. And then there was how I started every single morning. That's why I used vitamin C every single morning, because I believe skipping it even once meant I'm going to start looking old sooner. Almost every esthetician I saw over the years told me the same thing. Vitamin C every morning, no exceptions. So like the good, responsible woman that I am, I kept buying it and I kept trying it. But every single time, my skin had a bad reaction. Tiny little red bumps, again, almost like tiny breakouts, would pop up on my skin. Again, thankfully, eventually I stopped. But it's so crazy. For years, I felt guilty, like I was missing on something important, because I truly believed vitamin C was mandatory if you wanted to slow down aging. So I lived under the stupid guilt for years until last year when I started to experiment with K-beauty skincare. And that's when it clicked. Now it sounds so simple. Now that I know it, I can use any serum I want in the morning if my skin reacts well to it. Now in the morning, I use a few serums targeted for anti-aging instead. And of course, my skin looks better now than when I was forcing vitamin C on it. I believed one ingredient was mandatory, and I was wrong. And then there were the appointments I believed I had to schedule every month. That's why I got facials every few weeks, because I believed the more treatments I did, the younger my skin would look. When I turned 28 and a half, I remember this day like it was yesterday. I looked in the mirror and I saw half a line underneath this eye. That line was not there the day before, and overnight, it was right there. That's the moment I said I need to start to get facials on a regular basis to get rid of that half a line and to delay aging. So I started to get them every month. But after a while, I realized something. Too many times I would go to my facial appointments, and when I left, I would walk out with products or procedure schedules that I really didn't need. I was buying them without really taking the time to think, do I really need them to look younger? Thankfully, I decided to take a truly active role in educating myself on anti-aging skincare, and I learned something that helped me so much. If I found the right skincare products and I used them consistently, and that's the key word, consistently, I didn't need one facial. Doing my own skincare at home gave me so much more control. I could take my time and really think about what I was putting on my skin and avoid purchases I would make on the spur of the moment. So I stopped getting facials and my skin looks beautiful and youthful. Now, because of my YouTube channel, which I love, I get offered free facials, but I turn them down because I don't need them. I also had a much smaller step that I treated like it was essential. That's why I never skipped toner, because I believed every step in my routine did something for my skin to help it look younger. I truly believed if I skipped it, I would age faster. But skipping toner was not going to make me age faster. Some toners might be useful for certain skin conditions, but for my skin, it wasn't adding anything I needed. When I started switching to K-beauty products, I even tried the toner from La Vie en Beauty. And you ladies know I love La Vie en Beauty, but even the toner from La Vie en Beauty did nothing for my skin. I'm pretty sure I used it for a while and then I just threw it out. Toner was another rule, not another result. Then there was another step that felt the most proactive of all. That's why I used the scrub or an exfoliating cleanser, because I believed unless I was scrubbing my skin, I wasn't fighting the signs of aging with everything I've got. I tried exfoliating cleansers on and off over the years, but the problem was I could not control the intensity. Once that exfoliating cleanser was on my face, it was so easy to over exfoliate and compromise my skin barrier without even realizing it. What worked so much better for my skin was gentle manual exfoliation with a face cleansing brush. Originally was the Clarisonic brush, and now I am using the Michael Todd Beauty brush. I could control the pressure, stop when my skin had enough, and avoid that rough, scrubbed feeling I always got from exfoliating cleansers. The Michael Todd Beauty brush leaves my skin smoother and brighter without making me feel like I had to scrub harder to see that fresh skin. Everything so far was about doing more than what my skin actually needed. But there was another belief I had, and this one is the exact opposite. This belief told me that it was okay for me to do less as soon as I had a good enough reason. That's why on the days when my skin didn't feel dry, I would skip moisturizer completely, because I believed if my skin didn't need it, I wouldn't slow down aging anyway. But here's what I came to realize. Thankfully, again, I'm so thankful in this video. Yes, it's true, you have to listen to your skin. That part is not wrong. But if your skin feels like it doesn't need moisturizer, that is not always a sign to skip it. It's a sign that you just haven't found the right one yet. Here's a fancy line I have learned. My skin didn't have to feel dry before it deserved support. There was one more thing I convinced myself I could skip, and out of everything on this list, this one is the one that I really wish I didn't. If it was cloudy outside, I didn't bother putting on sunscreen on my face, because I believed if I cannot see the sun, it cannot damage my skin. Clouds may reduce some sunlight, but they don't block all the UV radiation that reaches your skin. And over time, I noticed that brown spots or brown patches, especially right here on top of my lip or around my forehead, or right here at the base of my chest, they will be more pronounced when I would skip sunscreen. That's why I really wish I didn't skip that sunscreen. I think I'm going to need an IPL laser to treat this. So here it is. Here is what I finally understood after all of it. The cleansers, the vitamin C, the facials, the toners, the scrub, the moisturizer I skipped, the sunscreen I skipped. The biggest lie about anti-aging was never about facials, vitamin C, or toner. It was believing every skincare recommendation was a rule I had to follow exactly like everyone else. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't fundamentals. Protecting your skin from the sun, protecting your skin barrier. But everything else has to begin with understanding your own skin. I spent years trying to follow skincare rules. And here's another fancy line. Skincare philosophy, let's call it. My skin wasn't asking for more rules. My skin was asking to be understood. I stopped asking, what am I supposed to use? And I started asking, what does my skin actually need? And which steps are truly making it age slower? If you want to learn more of the things I stopped doing once I started to listen to my skin, I think you should watch this video, 10 things I quit that were ruining my face at 46. And if you want to take a deep dive into my entire anti-aging wisdom, my holy playlist on anti-aging, I have it right here. I will see you in the next video.